Say a little bit about the Republican Party for you. Come on up. Give him a round of applause. Come on.
What's going on? I'm on the Republican State Committee of New Jersey. I'm not as good a speaker as everybody else that was up here, so I'm going to have to read from this. I don't want to disrespect the flag here. My fellow Americans, Jersey boys and girls, brothers and sisters, our country is in crisis, but those gathered here give hope. From sea to shining sea, small, medium, and large cities across our great land, a deeply dangerous and discriminatory two-headed hydra has arisen. Sometimes only rearing one head, sometimes both. This monster is the movement to destroy, depopulate, and divest from urban centers, downtowns, and minority, majority, and working class neighborhoods. It is the movement to kill the already shrinking number of life-sustaining jobs of small and large businesses in our cities. It is a movement of destruction. BLM Antifa is this monster. One branch is content to verbally demonize the police, our military, and even our entire society. The other loots, riots, burns, and ravages cities in which elected leaders, lacking backbone and conviction, allow it to do so. Such a place exists right over the Hudson River behind us, and the mess de Blasio has made of New York City. In many, if not most towns, this movement marches, advocating with cult-like repetition, shallow, one-dimensional chants for the despair that will inevitably come as residents of poor neighborhoods wait ever-lengthening minutes for the police and first responders to arrive, as those with means move to gated communities or the suburbs if the BLM Antifa call to defund the police is heeded. Make no mistake, while there is a moral difference between those advocating for defunding and disbanding the police and those using the slogan as a shield to protect them while they engage in reckless rioting, they are both wrong. This is not to say that our nation can't improve, and we know this. Nor should we forget that in the lifespan of men and women living today, Black Americans were legally discriminated against by a government too often captured by bigotry. This was big government, which we're all against. But the fact remains that our nation was founded on, later fought itself for, and has continued to expand the circle of freedom as no other nation in the world before it has done. That more than any other nation on earth, America has striven so that the inherent natural rights of every man and woman are recognized and enshrined in law. Does not matter the anti-cop crusaders of the BLM Antifa movement. Washed away by BLM Antifa are the stories, struggles, and triumphs of the hundreds of thousands of Black, brown, Asian, immigrant, and female cops, soldiers, traffic enforcement, and EMT. According to the nihilistic, false narrative popular with protesters and rioters alike, and perpetuated by the national news media, their lives don't matter. But we gathered here, we know the truth, that the lives of all the boys in blue, in uniform, serving the public, that run into danger as they did on September 11th, while we ordinary people got to run away from the danger and destruction. Not only do they matter, but that they are our heroes. They're American heroes. We know our political class, those that so often, say, do as we say, not as we do, Governor Murphy, have created too many laws, criminalized too many consensual, nonviolent activities. Our would-be political overlords use the law and their power all too often for their own gain and have no problem sending the police to cite or bother a business owned by someone with a different point of view. We have all seen this firsthand. Months after the COVID curve flattened, state and local governments in our could-be great state of New Jersey and across the nation clamped down on those organizing protests to find a safe way to open up more of the economy, and they were fined and they were shut down. Yet the protesters from BLM Antifa calling for the abolition of the police were given free rein. We know the danger of a big government which tells us how to live our lives, operate our businesses, how much cash we can carry, and many more rules. But that issue, the heavy hand of big government and the abuse of the police to enforce the always increasing list of things the political class deems illegal, is a problem not of the police, but of the political class. We gathered here also know that the efforts of the President on criminal justice reform are good because no nonviolent offender should be thrown away as if they cannot change for the better. These are facts more and more people are starting to understand. Americans of every color and creed are walking away, leaving behind the BLM Antifa mobs. Americans demand an end to destruction and are holding accountable hypocritical local politicians for fanning the flames by kneeling at rallies, but claiming that while the BLM Antifa say all police are racist, their police force is the exception. They're hypocrites. There is more work to be done, friends. The BLM Antifa mob that harassed Senator Rand Paul, for example, by shouting, "Say her name," and her name was Breonna Taylor about 2 weeks ago, did not know or did not care that he was the first one that actually said her name, that he was the author of the Breonna Taylor Act to end no-knock warrants, that he has stood up, and that so many of us have stood up for the civil liberties of all Americans, of all colors, of all creeds, of all types. For many of the other leaders like Paul, for us here, for the criminal justice reform of the President, and for the residents of minority and working class neighborhoods that bear the brunt of violent crime, we must say it loud and say it proud. Defend the police. They and our servicemen are women,